Nope, I have to restart the audio. Great. Hold on. It's going to be a minute. It's doing that thing where it's like, you recently closed this. Are you sure you want to reopen? Like, yes.
God damn it.
Just because I'm bereaved doesn't mean I'm...
My shops!
All right, I need to close this. Hard close. Task manager. And you're not even open. How am I going to do this?
Such a task manager.
Let's see if it'll open now.
Yeah, it's
We're not recording or anything, but we have 5 viewers for some fucking reason. It's like we load with 5 viewers now.
Oh, okay, means
Twitter bots. If you're watching right now, we're in pre-production. We're not ready to do the show. I want you to comment over there and say something real. Because
if you're alive and real. Yeah, you scared them away. That's why. You scared those.
Now we're down 3. See? Now they're dropping off.
Russian porno bots. They're scared. Robots. Get off my channel, robots.
Oh, it's finally opening. Okay.
Opening.
All right. We're about to do our show.
Yeah.
Finally got to load. Let's load up these 2 fun movies because I finally got it recording.
Good old Alan Parker. Who are we talking about tonight?
Yeah, Alan Parker. Double dose of Alan Parker. Triple dose if you include last week.
Honestly, Jesus Christ.
3 Alan Parker period pieces with severe racism involved.
And all of them, really.
All 3.
I sense
that one's a coon. Get him up against the wall. That's the wall, and then this one has voodoo, like yeah. And then they get the cops coming in, dropping M-bombs left and right, and then Mississippi Burning had slight hints of racism throughout. I don't know if you noticed.
Just a little bit, not much.
You really got to pay attention to what they're saying. It's in the subtext.
Don't you go think I'm some other body.
Shit, you can't feel better than a black man. Who can you feel better than?
They don't take baths. They smell.
That's people. That's not even black people.
They're not like us. They're not like us. They don't take baths. They smell. Oh man,
Dick, it's your show.
Scrotum.
Go ahead.
Are we doing it?
Yeah.
Well, we're gonna, like we just said, we got a 3. We've been having a great time with Alan Parker movies last 2 weeks. They don't make them like that no more because Hollywood is fucking dead.
Wow. Dick, I just came back from Hollywood.
That's right. You did.
I was literally in Hollywood, staying for multiple nights.
Ooh.
And we had an option to hang out there another night, and I went, no, let's go back.
I gotta get out of here because I'm gonna catch a disease. How many homeless people did you run into? Uh-oh. He's looking at all his new accoutrement bought from the streets of Hollywood.
I'll be honest. 0. I barely saw any homeless people.
Because you didn't go downtown.
I went downtown. I spent most of my time downtown, which is why I was so confused because I listened to a podcast, The Reasonable Doubt with Mark Geragos, the lawyer. He does a show with Adam Carolla, who's no longer on the show, but it's a fun show to listen to. But he has a bunch of businesses downtown, and he's a lawyer, so his office is downtown. And he talks about how insane it is and how like it's overrun. And it's basically the asylum out in the street. So I'm like preparing my family for this. And I get there. I don't see a single homeless person downtown. It was actually pretty pleasant. And
maybe they kicked them all out.
Or it was just a different part of downtown that's overrun. Because I don't think he was making it up. Because we've both been downtown LA and it is rough. But
that's bad.
Is there an Olympics coming? Is there
maybe they cleaned it up? Somebody, I think, because you were there, they found out that Phoenix West was coming to LA. They cleaned up the streets for you and your family.
Is that what it was?
I think so.
Oh,
Because
thanks.
they had that. They knew you're coming for a volleyball game. They said,
Volleyball
we gotta
tournament, yeah.
get this shit out of here because Phoenix is coming."
I went down to the convention center. I was there for 3 straight days for my nephew's
Wow,
volleyball tournament.
exciting.
And it was I'll say I had a fun trip outside of everything else, but the tournament and being in LA and going around was a lot of fun.
Yeah,
Went to Madame Tussauds
yeah, it's very nice.
Wax Museum for the first time,
Nice
and
pictures. A lot of fun there.
I had to have you remind me that the one on Hollywood Boulevard was always there because it
Yes.
used to be like that black hole in the wall, which I completely forgot about. Like blacked out windows, and they had a little sign. And now it's
Yeah.
like this big old entrance, and they have someone with a tablet, and there's a big Kobe right there. And
Right.
it's very high tech. You can buy your tickets through the thing, and blah blah blah, and you can go and you take the visual experience. You can sit down and have a fake interview with Jimmy Fat or Jimmy Kimmel.
Now, is this Madame Tussauds or is this the other
Madame
wax
Tussauds.
museum? That's Madame Tussauds. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, and it was because what I remember of Madame Tussauds was, "Hey, you want to come in here, see the wax figures?" No, that's what I remember.
Hey, little boy,
No,
go
thank you. Now,
inside.
big friendly lady outside, like, "Hey, come on in." She's on the microphone, has a little headset, the Britney Spears headset thing, and she's talking to us. And hey, buy your tickets right here.
Oh,
Dinner two are free, and she's doing the whole thing. And I'm like, this is so nice. Like,
I'm not that innocent.
yeah, there's down to, or Hollywood had changed because everything was so brand new. There's a Wahlburgers right across the street that we ate at.
Wow, that's
That's
crazy.
new. And it was
That's
everything
new.
was so new and clean. And I'm
Yeah.
like,
Wow.
this is so weird. What's going on?
Well, they totally gentrified that area.
And you can actually park on Hollywood and Orange, right there.
Oh yeah,
That's
yeah,
where
yeah.
Minnesota is. You can actually park in that parking garage.
Oh yeah.
Do you remember that street used to constantly be closed?
Yes.
They had it closed like 360 days out of the year because they're
Well,
moving like equipment to other buildings
they were like shooting stuff over there. That was kind of like
constantly.
the waiting area when they were shoot stuff, park their trucks there and their
Yeah, it was
oh,
it was constantly closed for production trucks and
well,
chairs and just people carrying stuff. And we drove up and there's not a single person around.
just
Parked
shows you
there.
how horrible is the shoot in California, and they don't want to do it anymore. So they go
Yep.
to Georgia, Canada,
Canada.
and other places.
Croatia.
Canada.
They will go to
Spain.
Croatia before they go to
Yeah.
LA.
Most of Nick Cage movies are shot in Croatia.
Yeah.
And Georgia and North Carolina.
Yeah, they're
There
even
you go.
Michigan. They're
Yeah.
pretty tax friendly with film production now.
Yeah. All of Steven Seagal
Um,
movies are shot there.
Yeah, some good movies like Don't Breathe was shot there.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, yeah.
Fantastic movie.
Oh, Barbarian.
Barbarian.
That's Detroit.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Barbarian's Detroit.
Sure.
Yeah, that's a great one. Yeah.
And they made fun of Detroit while doing
Yeah. And the whole time they're making fun of Detroit.
it. When she comes out of that apartment or the house and sees the neighborhood and then the house she's in, fucking
Yeah.
hilarious.
Great movie.
I had a
But here-
coworker being like, Barbarian was okay. I was like, oh, you did not watch the same movie I did then because I fucking love that movie.
Exactly. Yeah, we didn't get it.
That was my favorite movie of last year.
It was fun. It was okay. It was no Angel Heart.
Yeah, he also said he loved Nick Cage movies because I talked to him about that, and he goes, "I love Season of the Witch and stuff like that." And I was like,
"Oh
okay.
God, he's an idiot. Yeah, he's a moron."
Anyway,
wow,
he's not a moron, but he's
no, I know. But how do you honestly say
yeah.
with straight face, "I love Season of the Witch, so great"? Like, no, it's not.
I think I have it in the bottom 5 of his movies.
Oh yeah, you have it way low. Yeah, that's a bad one.
Yeah,
that's one of his worst ones.
I mean, I could show it right now.
Oh,
where do I have it on?
I think it's toward the bottom.
Season
it's
of the
toward
Witch.
the end. Yeah.
Yeah, second from the bottom.
Yes, it's very almost last.
His performance, it's second from the bottom.
That's crazy.
Anyway,
that's hilarious.
These are your 2 picks, both Alan Parker movies, both you've seen that I haven't. So take it away. What are your, standard or beginning of the show talk? What's your experiences with these movies?
Well, for Mississippi Burning, I'd seen so many times growing up. I used to watch it all the time. I don't know why. It's one of those movies that I have to watch when it's on, watch it all the way through. And it's on It was on HBO all the time. It's on Encore all the time. It's on Stars all the time. Every time you turn around, it's on a new streaming service. It's always constantly around me and on. And I love the movie. It's a great movie. True story. Everybody in it. The acting is sensational. The acting is phenomenal. It's one of the best casts in the movie you're going to see. It feels dirty and grimy. It's directed well. What's it? Alan Parker does a hell of a job with this movie. And after seeing The Wall, I just appreciate him so much more because I think this is my first experience with Alan Parker, and I've seen other of his films now that I know who he is, and just kind of comparing all of them. He's a hell of a director. I mean, what an amazing thing to accomplish, to go from fucking working with Pink Floyd, The Wall, and then you go into do a period piece about civil rights movement with Gene Hackman and William Dafoe. And Brad Dourif is so good in this movie.
And you know what's crazy is between those two movies, he did a movie called Birdie.
Yes.
Nick Cage movie, and it's phenomenal.
Yeah.
Birdie, it's not, I wouldn't recommend it to just anyone, but if you're into that kind of movie, I was not. I was like, oh God, here we go. And I was like, oh, holy shit, this is good.
Right, yeah.
And that's kind of because I already knew who Alan Parker was just because Pink Floyd The Wall. But
right.
Birdie, I was like, God damn, this guy's good. Like he sold me on this movie that he was no interest in. Yes, it's because I haven't seen Midnight Express, which is something he did in the 70s. Everyone knows.
Written by Oliver Stone.
Yeah. And then he did
I've seen pieces of it. I've never seen the whole thing.
So he did Pink Floyd The Wall, Birdie, Angel Heart, and Mississippi Burning right in a row.
Yes, all in the 80s. Fairly close together.
Yeah.
And now I got the feeling that you enjoyed Mississippi Burning more than Angel Heart. I'm getting that feeling.
What are your we'll get into my thoughts. But what about Angel Heart? You have an sorry, Mississippi Burning. You kind of mentioned that. Is this like one of those movies that you quote with your family? So you mentioned one line.
I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but Mississippi Burning, like and there's a scene where Gene Hackman tells a story about his daddy, and we say that a lot to each other. I'm just telling a story about my daddy. And like, anytime somebody says like, what are you talking about? Does that mean something? Nah, I'm just telling a story about my daddy. That's say the line in my family. It's like
Gene Hackman is, I'll say this, adorable in this movie.
Yeah. Yes.
When he says that line, it didn't come out the way I expected, the way you say it.
Right. Yeah.
Because he's like telling this horrible story about how his dad ruined this neighbor of theirs, this black guy.
Yeah.
And he ruins him by killing his donkey.
Yeah.
Move. And he's like, why did he do that? And he's like, I don't know. Why are you telling me? Please don't tell me about my daddy.
Well, then he goes and he says he was so full of hate. It wasn't. He didn't know the fact that him being poor was what was killing him, and that was kind of that's the gist of the story. Is he's trying to explain that people are just so full of hate they don't know why they do the things that they do, and it's for nothing. It's a stupid reason.
It's a scene that's entirely set up because Willem Dafoe keeps going, why are they like this? Like he literally doesn't understand it. So that's him saying, like, trying to give him a little bit of peek behind the curtain of they're not mad at the black people because they're black. They hate their own fucking lives and their misery.
Yeah.
So take it out on them because he has that part where he's like, if you're not living better than a black guy, then who are you living better than?
Right. Yeah, exactly. Except he didn't say black guy.
Yeah. That's me.
A lot of N-words in this movie. This one might have the count of like next to it, like New Jack City and Mississippi Burning, the N-word extravaganzas.
Son of Sam.
Yeah, I mean it's a thing. The Spike Lee movies from the 80s and this movie.
Yeah, Do the Right Thing might be
on par. Yeah, it's gonna be tough.
Oh man. Okay, sorry. Angel Heart. What's your
Angel Heart? I saw later in life because I had always heard of it. I was just like, yeah, one of these guys gotta watch it. One of these gonna watch it. And I finally watched it. It was on like HBO Max or something. I was like, okay, I'll watch it. So I watched it. I enjoyed it. I thought it was interesting. It was a neat, twisty movie. Kind of figured out the movie, but I think it was spoiled for me. But I think that was a Kevin Smith joke. And what was it? Was it Chasing Amy or Dogma? Where it says, "Oh my God, I'm Mickey Rourke in Angel Heart." I sold the devil and didn't even know it.
Oh God, what is that in?
I can't remember. It's a movie though. It was spoiled for me in another movie. But
You know what's funny is, you know who spoiled the ending of this for me?
Oh, me?
Yeah, you.
Angel Heart? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, you can figure it out if you watch the movie.
No, I completely agree. It was very
Yeah.
obvious from the get-go.
Yeah.
Had I not known, it honestly, it didn't ruin any of my experience of the movie at all.
Right.
Because I was like, he has a fucking pentagram ring on his. You see in the poster right there, right
Right.
under you.
Yeah, exactly.
So,
Yeah.
and look at his
It's pretty
fingernails. Like,
obvious.
there's no. He has the
Yeah.
devil goatee and the. It's very obvious. There.
Well, his
The
name
main
is
twist,
an
though-
anagram.
Yeah, exactly.
His name is an anagram for Satan or Lucifer or
It's
something
not
like
even an anagram. It's basically separate. It's like pronounced the same.
It's like Lucifer, right? Isn't it?
Yeah,
Mr. Cypher.
Louis
Mr.
Cypher.
Cypher. Yeah, Louis Cypher. That's
Louis
what it was.
Cypher.
Yeah.
Louis
Hi,
Cypher.
I'm Louis Cypher. How you doing?
Yeah, it's
I'm gonna get you a good deal on your show.
and I will say there's the main. That's not even the main twist. I would say the main twist is what the Mickey Rourke part.
Right.
I would say that's the bigger twist, and I guess that pretty much right away as
It's
well.
basically the guy from World War II. He swapped souls or something. And
watch these movies first, by the way.
Yeah, don't want to spoil it for you.
Okay, go ahead.
Is that like because he keeps having those fantasies about World War II, and he realizes it's not him, it's someone else, and he's living somebody else's life because he is running from the devil, and he found a way to beat the devil, and then he forgets because he has an accident. He has like a head injury. Isn't that what it was?
I honestly don't know. I didn't hear that if he had a head injury.
Well, he had an accident, and he forgets who he was, and he has like almost a split personality kind of thing going on, where he's murdering all the people that he comes into contact with, not realizing
I
he's
thought you were
killing
talking about Angel's backstory. You're talking about Johnny Favorite's backstory, technically now.
Right. Well, whoever Mickey Rourke is.
Mickey Rourke is Angel.
Yeah.
His body. His body is one person. His soul is another.
Right. That's exactly. Yeah.
The soul is in the background for most of the movie.
Right. Yeah.
Because he doesn't know who he is because he's
it's
like he's living in the back of that brain of Angel.
Yeah.
And so every time it's basically Fight Club. He blacks out, and then that's when Johnny Favorite comes out and kills these people so they don't rat him out.
Right.
And that's really the movie. And it's, that twist ending. And it is very, very dramatic the way Mickey Rourke plays that last scene. Who am I?
Yeah.
Who am I? I know who I am. He's doing everything there.
He's not doing his whispering voice.
No.
I'm the devil's after me. Oh man, Louis Cypher's gonna kill me, take my soul to hell. Oh no, not again. I'm Mickey Rourke from 1986.
So you watch this one later than you did with Mississippi Burning.
Yeah, Mississippi Burning as I grew up with it, and Angel Heart later in life I saw it.
I'm kind of similar because I did watch the second half of Mississippi Burning a few times.
Right.
I realized when I got to the second half, I'm like, now I know what's going on, and now I know what this movie is. Because I told you, I'm pretty sure I've seen it.
Yeah.
When we brought it up, and I'm like, yes, here we go. Because it's like, I'd say 45 to 50 minutes in, I've seen the rest of that movie a bunch of times. Right. It was one of those cable movies that was on a lot. And
it was on all the time. Yeah.
But this is my first time watching the beginning of it. It's not a movie you want to walk into willingly when you're 10 years old or 8 years old. But you will catch the end of it when you're skimming around after a movie ends and here's Mississippi Burning, and you watch the second half.
Yeah.
Angel Heart, though, I mentioned that the guy I lived with in Miami, and
yes.
And I was thinking, because I was thinking about when I brought that up last week.
Yeah.
I hadn't seen Diner, like I mentioned. I was like, no way, I didn't watch Diner. So Diner, and now I'm down to just Diner from his list, from his collection. So I've seen this now, and I loved it, Angel Heart.
Right.
Now I need to watch Diner. That's the one thing I have, and I'll finish off his collection, his weird, random collection of stuff he had.
And it's so random, yeah.
But I loved it all so far. Like
my favorite movie of all time is Quigley Down Under with Alan Rickman's performance.
I just love mustaches, man.
And my second favorite movie of all time is Citizen Kane. It's like, what? Why? That's a big separation there.
What's the unbearable weight of massive talent where they're
He's something stupid. Yeah, say
what's that movie?
Paddington 2. Paddington 2 changed my life. Maybe
that was so good.
Made me question myself as a man.
I love it. No, it's I watched Mississippi Burning first.
Okay.
A couple days ago. I put it on. I noticed R. Lee Ermey right away. And I went, I just passed through his neck of the woods where he lived and died.
Wow.
I sent you a picture of R. Lee Ermey Road, which is Avenue K or Avenue N in Lancaster, California. That's where I was staying after LA. And they changed it to R. Lee Ermey Road because he lived there for 24 years with his wife and died eventually. And after he died, they changed the name of the road. I'm like, that's cool.
Yeah, that's nice.
That's a random person to be out here because everyone loves R. Lee Ermey, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Not. And then I wrote down that was a brutal fucking opening because it's these two white kids in the front seat, black kid in the back seat. They're driving. Oh, there's someone behind us, and they realize there's 3 cars, and they're like, "Is that the cops?" No, keep driving. Pull up, get over here, and we'll get rid of them. And then they turn on the lights and get pulled over, and then right away. He's like, well, you shouldn't have come down here. That was a bad mistake. And then Micah Rooker blows his fucking brains out.
You got that right, boy.
And you hear Pruitt Taylor Vince, I shot me the N-word.
Yeah. He shot him in the foot, but at least he shot him an N-word.
Yeah.
It's a lot. Oh, it's like ugh.
And then you watch, and it's Gene Hackman and Willem Dafoe come in the frame. And I was like, oh my God, Willem Dafoe looks so young here.
Yeah.
He went from young-looking man to elderly in 15 years.
Well, it's the characters he plays.
This and Spider-Man is 15 years, not even 14 years.
Wow.
He's a grandpa-looking man in Spider-Man.
You should see him now. I just saw him, and he's got like a beard. He looks like he's 300 years old. He looks like a fiction. He looks like the Rip Van Winkle caper. He's like he fell asleep. And he woke up 300 years later to cash in his.
He's a year younger than my dad. He's about to turn 70.
Wow.
Yeah. Damn. No, but he went from. I was like, oh wow, he looks so young. I barely recognized him.
Well, all I know is what has 4 eyes and can't see. Mississippi. Yeah. Mr. Anderson. What are you talking about? But he kept saying Mr. Anderson. It kept making me think of The Matrix. Mr. Anderson.
Mr. Anderson.
What's wrong with these people, Mr. Anderson?
Going back to something you mentioned earlier, Brad Dourif is so goddamn good in this movie.
Oh, Brad, like I said, Michael Rooker, Brad Dourif, R. Lee Ermey, Gene Hackman.
Everyone.
Everybody. Kevin Dunn.
Frankie Faison's one scene he's in.
Yeah, Frankie Faison is awesome.
He does like an amazing speech in the middle of the movie. Is not in the movie again.
Yeah, he's the preacher.
Yeah,
he's the main preacher before they burn down the church.
Stephen Tobolowsky. Holy shit!
Stephen Tobolowsky, who's the Grand Wizard of the Ku Klux Klan.
I did not expect that at all. I assumed he was going to show up and he was going to be like the. Now, Mr. Senator, you need to go.
You sell insurance.
No, he's out there like, kill those black kids. You kill their babies too. But
I want to see white Christians.
And that was his political speech during his rally.
Yeah, exactly.
We're going to kill those black babies because we don't want any more of them coming up. And you're like, anyway, that's why you should vote for me. It's like, good God, man. Mississippi doesn't fuck around.
Well, yeah, at least they're honest. Give them that. They're honest. They're not like normal politicians. They all lie. Those guys are being honest.
Are we on
didn't win on their honesty.
I'll switch over to Mississippi Burning.
There you go.
So we appear to be doing that one first.
I love that scene though when Dafoe kind of just loses it, and he's like he goes to Mr. Anderson and William Dafoe says something, and Gene Hackman slaps the shit out of him. And then William Dafoe pulls out the gun, and he goes, "I'm going to do it. I want to do this your way. We're gonna." He goes, something like the line. I know Gene Hackman's line is, "These people came out of the sewer, Mr. Ward.
Yeah.
We have to go down the gutter to get these guys because maybe
Right.
tell the truth." Yeah, because Mr. Anderson or William Dafoe is coming from like a collegiate view or like an academic view, where he's like, I got to figure out these people and break, won't go down their level to arrest them, and Gene Hackman just round them up and shoot them in the head. That's how you take care of this problem. And Gene Hackman's right, because it's just like, get rid of these guys.
Dafoe has more of Hackman has more of a, like, he needs to be in the Untouchables.
Yeah.
Elliot Ness sort of style. And then Willem Dafoe has more of a reserved, and he has a line that perfectly sums him up, where he's yelling at Gene Hackman in the bathroom.
Yeah.
He's like, you can't be doing that. He's like, this can of worm only opens from the other end. You know that? And he goes, yeah, I know that. And now that perfectly summed up his character. I wish that line was way earlier.
Right.
Because it sets up the rest of the movie, really. And it's like over halfway through the movie. I was like, damn, that's a good line. And it's kind of too late because that happens after my favorite scene in the movie, which is Gene Hackman shows up. We're all over the place, I know, but watch the fucking movie if you want to go in order.
Yeah.
It's when he shows up at the bar. And,
yes.
Brad Dourif is sitting there drinking his beer, and it's a dry county.
Yeah.
And he walks in and he sees Michael Rooker and sitting in a chair, and he's like, "Hello, fellas," and he's still pretending to be friendly at this point.
Yeah.
And he sits down, and he's like, "It's a dry county, but I guess I'll have a beer." And he hands him a beer. And he's drinking it, and he's just fucking around and basically like trying to get a rise out of them.
Yeah,
which is what he's doing the whole movie. He's trying to get a rise out of them, and if they're black, he's really trying to like just be friendly and be there, like be a voice, just kind of be there so that they can come to them instead of Willem Dafoe, which is, hey, so on September 3rd, you were, and it's like, no,
right,
no,
I see nothing, sir. I didn't see nothing.
Yeah, like, that's all you're gonna get out of that tactic.
Even Gene Hackman's like, you don't do that because that's just gonna make them.
He gets that kid almost killed in the beginning.
That's the thing, yeah. He gets thrown out of a car.
I was watching that with my wife because she watched this movie with me. And I go, is he trying to get this kid killed?
Yeah, exactly.
And the kid is clearly going, I got nothing to say to you, man.
He's scared shitless because fucking Dafoe keeps bringing. That was the whole point. That's what Gene Hackman knows.
Yeah.
It's like, that's not how you do it.
No.
You can't go to them.
Jumped out of a car in the middle of Main Street later.
I love it. And then they took Taylor Pruitt and Vince or whatever around the town. They put them in the car. They're driving around with everyone seeing them in the car with the FBI. Yeah. Talking to it like they're shaking their heads, nodding. He's giving all this information. He's like, "What are you doing?" "I don't know." They're hey.
And he purposely walks in and hands them the 20. You got change for a 20?
And then he dumps them off in the black neighborhood. Remember that part? They drive all the way down. And
Jigsaw shuts his hand in the cash register.
So great, yeah.
Tobin Bell's in this randomly.
That's right. Yeah.
Anyway, what I was getting to is Hackman is like still pretending to be their friends, and then he gets a rise out of Michael Rooker finally, who's really the main like muscle of this entire organization.
Yeah.
Michael Rooker stands up, where he kind of leans toward him. He's like grabs him by the collar, and he's like, we don't fucking like you here, so get the fuck out of here. And then Gene Hackman grabs him with the balls, and he just you see that switch.
Listen here, shit kicker.
Yeah.
Don't you get confused with me with some other body.
And I can tell it was a scene that stuck out with you because as I was watching it, I looked down at my phone and you're quoting it, and you weren't even watching it.
Yeah.
I was like, that was perfect timing. I looked down and it says, "Listen here, shit kicker," and I'm like, that's what he just said.
I figured. I was like, I think that's that scene coming up. I'm just gonna type it. Maybe by the time it gets
you couldn't have been more perfect for that.
But I've seen that movie too many times.
I found that scene just like mesmerizing because of that switch that gets flipped, where he's like,
"Yeah,
you have the scene more memorized than I do, obviously." But what does he say there? Like, I'm not just some.
No, don't you confuse me with some other body.
Yeah,
because he's like, he thinks they're going to be like the Hoover boys. They're just going to write notes and not arrest anybody. And Gene Hackman's like, I'll cut you.
I'm a good old boy.
Well, that's what he tells Brad Dourif at the end when he beats his wife. We forgot to mention
Frances McDormand.
Frances McDormand's in this movie. She's fantastic.
Oh,
she's got one of the best scenes. The best scene where she's just like,
my second favorite actress.
You're taught hate. You're not born with it. You're taught it from when the day you're born, you're taught to hate him.
Brad
And
Dourif
it's-
yells at her,
Oh.
holding that like her friend or whoever that is, the black baby.
Yeah.
Is that your baby? Whose is that?
Well, and he goes, they look so cute when they're little.
That was him trying to like relate to her. That's a sad.
Yeah.
Thing. The way he says that is like
and she's scared. Yeah.
He says
and
it. And
she knows
she's mad at me for that. They're so cute when they're little.
They're so cute when they're little.
God damn.
Oh, he's so evil in that movie. It's so great. Brad Dourif should have been nominated for supporting actor in that movie. And of course not. Yeah, no, Brad Dourif has done more fucking amazing roles than any actor in Hollywood. And he gets no credit because he was Chucky. Because he's Chucky. They think he's Chucky. You know, that's what they dismiss him.
He was Chucky 30 years into his career, 20 years.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And he was doing it for fun. And it just, they made money and he could do like 10 more of them.
I gotta say, this podcast is quickly becoming, and I'm over this, completely on board. The Brad Dourif Appreciation Podcast.
Absolutely.
Because him in Exorcist 3.
Oh, yes.
Is top 10.
Oh, yeah.
Characters in a movie, especially in a horror movie.
Even in Dune. We just saw him in Dune.
Lord of the Rings.
Well, Lord of the Rings is great. Yeah, he's Wormtongue.
I don't give a shit about Lord of the Rings, but I was like, oh, Brad Dourif.
Brad Dourif's in it.
I'm watching. I'm like, God damn, he's good.
No, Deadwood when he the first season of Deadwood, where he's dealing with the priest that has that brain aneurysm, the brain problem, and he's going crazy, and he's like, Brad Dourif like breaks down. He's a Civil War doctor, and he just starts crying. And he's yelling at God, saying like, "How can you do this to someone that loves you and someone that does nothing but praise you? And you treat him like this, like he's a dog, and you're making him going to die and suffer like this for no reason. And you've taken so many innocent men." Like he just goes off on this whole thing about just yelling at God for the war and people who don't deserve pain to get pain. Great scene, and Brad Dourif is so fucking good. Deadwood is worth watching just for that. Him and Ian McShane, of course, and Timothy Olyphant's really good.
Yeah,
Brad Dourif, and let's not forget Jeffrey Jones.
Oh God,
the great famous dirty old man Jeffrey Jones,
and this
hasn't worked since because Post being arrested for being a sex offender. Yeah,
not even accusations, post conviction.
Yes.
I'm looking at Brad Dourif's career. He started 10 years before Chucky, really.
His big part was One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. That's his first big role. I think he was nominated for that.
But he only does the voice for Chucky. He's never
right. Yeah,
he's only in the very opening scene of the first movie.
Yeah,
he's holding the doll and like.
You
that's
bitch!
Indiana Jones. I don't remember what he says.
Kalima Shaktini.
But I know exactly what you mean. Like, why is that being held against him when he just does a voice?
Yeah,
but because I had the exact same reaction when I really started getting the Brad Dourif. I saw him and I'm like, oh, he's the Chucky guy. Okay,
yeah,
that's all he does. Okay, and I started catching him here and there in little bit roles. And I'm like, this guy's really fucking good. Like, what the fuck have I been missing?
Right, yeah.
His daughter's pretty good too, and she's in The Stand.
Yeah. And she's starting to take off now, and she's actually not bad. So like, oh, she's good.
Good for her. I want Brad Dourif to win something before he dies.
Do you think she has lots of stories about her daddy? She's gonna tell a story about her daddy.
I love his IMDb picture because it's been this for 20 some years.
That one with a big handlebar mustache one, or
no?
That one. Yeah, she's Buster Keaton in the Twilight Zone episode.
As long as I can remember, this has been his IMDb picture.
I wonder if he has any power over that.
This is from Ragtime from '81, which I think is a
musical comedy thing.
What is that guy's name? Robert Altman movie, right?
Which one? Oh, maybe.
I think Ragtime.
I'm not 100% my Robert Altman film.
No, Milos Forman.
Oh, there you go.
I'm thinking of Nashville, I think, because it's got a very similar poster.
Yeah, Robert Altman is Nashville, yeah.
Oh, but look at this poster. It's very similar to the Nashville poster.
Oh, wow, look at that. Yeah, very close.
Brad Dourif.
Brad Dourif, BD!
Brad Dourif is incredible in this movie. Should have won. Frances McDormand should have won. Gene Hackman should have won. Willem Dafoe, you can go either way. He's great in the movie,
fine.
but
I think he's more the
to
straight
be-
man. He's the straight character. He doesn't have much to do other than being the stoic. He's the stoic,
and he kills it.
White savior. Well, according to people who talk shit on this movie,
he
which
is.
I did not know at the time.
Honestly, he is. But it's not always a bad thing. That
no,
I wouldn't. Yeah, if there weren't for one scene, I wouldn't think that way. But there's one scene at the end after Arlie Emery hangs himself.
Right. Yeah.
And then Willem Dafoe's like, I think we're all the villains, and I'm like, this is not necessary. This speech.
No, that I think that's what killed the movie a little bit.
It was
that last moment. Yeah.
You should change and feel bad. This is you. And
right. Like,
I got that. I don't need you to tell me.
Do you see?
It was the last scene in Psycho. I don't need you to explain this to me. I got it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Well, I guess when this movie came out, I didn't know this until years later when I was reading like the not IMDb but Wikipedia page. I guess this movie's controversial because it had a white savior problem where it's like white people saved black people and black people didn't save themselves, which I was like, what? Really? That's what you take from this movie? I'm just like, I didn't see that. I just thought it was a movie about a guy trying to solve a case, and you have the two different heads with Gene Hackman and Dafoe butting heads because one's by the book and one's sort of more underhanded and wants to take these guys out like the old-fashioned way. Like he wants to go wild, wild west on them, and he wants to do New World on them, where it's like we're going to take him to court, we're going to put him in jail,
to slowly burn. And let the legal system take care of this, and
not gonna do
that's how you get progress. And Gene Hackman, no, we shoot these fucking guys in a field and we bury them,
kill them, bury them, and move on. Yeah, exactly.
Then you realize that's how everyone in this county thinks.
Right. Yeah.
We can't just kill them all.
Right.
I mean, I wouldn't oppose to that. The people they interview on the fucking screen, holy shit, they're infuriating.
Oh my god. How great was that?
God damn, that was brutal. Those are real interviews, like based on real interviews.
Yeah, like just an interesting, like just to put that into the movie, it becomes a documentary. It's like
it's infuriating.
What is this? All of a sudden, they talk to they don't bathe, they smell. They're not like us. We can't have them around. They're different.
The first guy they interview on the news story, he goes, well, I think those activists faked it. I think it's a publicity stunt. They're up in Canada laughing at us.
Right.
And if they were in that car and they got killed, they deserved it. I was like, how did you switch to that? And you know goddamn well those are based on literal, like, word-by-word interviews.
Probably, yeah.
Because he's meticulous when he made this movie.
Yeah. I love that when Gene Hackman he finally gets to do what he wants to do. He brings in his special guy, the black guy that kidnaps Arlie Emery. You know what he did? They cut it off his scrotum. That's not we say that line a lot in my family. He cut off his scrotum.
Then he goes talk like what a scrotum is, in case you're confused.
No, I found out years later what that meant.
No, he says it in the movie.
No, he goes, you know how much you bleed when you cut a man's balls off?
Yeah.
I can't remember his name. Omar looked like he was dipped in blood.
They found him in a field. He barely survived.
He barely walks today. All because he was a Negro. I can't remember the actor's name though. He's somebody.
Yeah.
He's somebody.
Jola.
He was great. He's a good.
My wife goes, "Is that Winston?"
Yeah, a little bit.
And I go, "How did?" Oh my god, he does look a lot like him. Like, I'm going to show a picture right now of him.
Yeah,
and from here up, he looks a lot like him.
Yeah,
like younger version of.
Did you get the train number? I missed it. Oh!
No, younger version of Winston. He looks a lot like him though.
Yeah. You know how much a man bleeds when he cut off his balls.
Yeah, that. And then he goes, "You got anything to tell me about that night?"
Yeah.
Arlie Emery's got this white duct tape over his face, and he's like,
"Oh shit!"
And I thought for sure he's gonna go, "Fuck you!" No, he's like, and then it cuts, and that guy's getting
tells him
everything.
Tells him everything. Tells what he knows, and he basically Stucky. the sheriff Stuckey stayed behind because he wasn't stupid enough to go with them.
Yeah.
And he knew what they were up to, but because he got off, he didn't go to prison.
Nope, he got acquitted.
I think they all got acquitted, though. I think they went to prison for the civil rights violation for 10 years, but I think they all got out like in a year, something like that. In reality, I don't think they stayed very long in prison.
Well, it's like
I think they all lived to be like ripe old ages. I don't know.
The movie reminded me a lot of Casualties of War.
Yeah,
I just watched that one, the De Palma movie, the Michael J. Fox.
Another happy movie.
Yeah, and I was like, that's more miserable than this, honestly.
Oh no, Casualties of War is almost unwatchable
because this is
really
there's like
bad.
a building of a case, and you have the lightheartedness of Gene Hackman.
Yes,
and the kind of like fake love story. I would say fake because they both know it can't work. The fake love story with Frances McDormand.
Right. Yeah.
You got all these wonderful characters, and then Casualties of War is just mired in the mud and the filth of this brutal fucking rape that you're forced to just watch. And just the people, and then it goes, was sentenced to 24 years, was sentenced to 30 years. And then you look in the reality.
Yeah.
5 years, 3 years.
Right. Yeah.
5 years.
Ugh.
None of those guys served even close to what the end credit says.
Right. Yeah.
And it's like, God damn it. Like that's more heartbreaking than the movie.
Yeah.
It's the reality of what happened. And I feel like they couldn't end the movie with served 6 months suspended sentence because
no, would you have appreciated if they took the Back to the Future music from what's his name, Eddie Money, and they play it at the end? Do I
got no credit cards to pay for this crime.
Back to the Future. Oh God.
Oh man.
And then Doc Brown, we have to go back, Marty. We have to make sure that they serve prison sentences.
Yeah.
I don't want to go back there, Doc. I have PTSD.
And that movie's even more brutal because the victim, like in this one, the victim's already dead by the time the movie actually starts.
Right. Yeah.
In that movie, she's like bloody, naked, and like crawling across a train track, like trying to get away from them. And the guy's just like,
yeah, it's not
blows her away. And then Michael J. Fox can't do a goddamn thing about it.
No, and John C. Reilly's in it.
Yeah.
Everyone forgets I'm in that movie.
Gene Hackman's still alive.
Don't you touch my drum set. Barely. He's still kicking though. He's still kicking. I
laughed so hard right here, Dick. It's my favorite Gene Hackman movie. It involves Brad Dourif. I laughed so goddamn hard when he does this baseball joke for the second time. You know what I like about baseball? No. The only time a black guy can wave a stick at a white man.
Yeah.
He tells Brad Dourif he's already heard it, and he cuts him off. And then he goes, "Boop," pokes him in the belly.
It's nice talking to you. Guess I gotta go.
Mr. Anderson.
All right, I'm gonna pause so we don't get shut down. And
Frances McDormand is semi-cute.
Yeah.
Good night. Let's get back to baseball. You know what they say, don't you? It's the only game where a black man can wave a stick at a white man. I already heard that.
Why did he do that?
Pokes him right in the belly.
Did you ever notice that?
That's funny, yeah. Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
God damn, I was laughing so hard.
Gene Hackman's just a good actor.
It's the only timestamp I saved in the movie.
Yeah, that's hilarious. That's funny.
Going back to what you mentioned about when Gene Hackman takes over and Willem Dafoe's like, "We'll do it your way." And he's like, "You're gonna do it my way. Whatever I want to do." He's like, "Yes, we'll do it your way." Immediately, Willem Dafoe's like, "We can't be doing your renegade shit out here, okay?" I was like, "What the fuck?"
Please do him a service, Mr. Ward.
The guy just left on. They're standing right by the airfield, and he's like,
"Yeah,
we can't be doing it that way. We got regulations." I'm like, "You just said you're gonna do it his way." It's like, yeah, we did this. We had the same thing in that Nick Cage movie last week. Remember, the wife goes in rage.
Right? Yeah.
Go kill him your way. Next morning, I'm gonna leave. You're gonna take me with you, right? No, I have to go do that. I'm gonna go kill people. You can't leave me here. Like, you just told me to take care of it my way.
I was supposed to do my way. This is my way.
The previous scene told me.
I forgot what Mr. Quiver was about. Okay, fuck you. I'm going to screw this up and get shot in the shotguns in the bedroom at the end of the movie.
Oh, fuck that movie.
Spoiler alert
No,
for an awful Nick Cage.
you can't
movie from last
spoil
week.
shit. It's already you can't
really,
spoil
you
milk.
can't spoil milk if spoiled.
It's already spoiled.
Uh,
It's a 10-year-old movie. It's already spoiled. I don't know. It's just a fun laugh-a-minute romp through Southern history. It's just a great movie.
It's very well done.
It's fucking brutal.
One of my
And it
favorites.
feels like by the time it wraps up, you never really got any justice. And I feel like because there's a scene where he's standing next to Malcolm Jamal Warner and all the burned down church that was there, and he's watching him leave. And I'm like, these people are so much worse off than when you arrived. Like,
that's the thing. Yeah, it's just like, oh man.
Like you really do have to do like 3 steps back to get 1 step forward with this sort of shit. And it was important that they did it, but holy shit, these people lives. His dad got hung and he barely saved his life.
Yeah.
It's fucking brutal, man.
Well, that one scene when Dafoe goes and talks to the older black couple and they beat him and he's in bed, he's trying to get the statement from him, and he goes, nothing happened to me, mister. I'm fine. I'm not, I didn't do anything. Nothing happened. I didn't see anybody.
And he looks like
he's just laying.
Looks like a fucking mummy.
Dying.
He's like,
yeah, he's like scared shitless.
Got blood all over.
Oh, terrible. Yeah,
and his wife is just like, he'll tell you. And then he just goes, no.
Yeah. She's chucking her corn.
And then it's not until he starts, Gene Hackman starts his conversations with Frances McDormand and Malcolm Jamal Warner. He starts them off not looking for information, which is what breaks the case.
Right.
Not just trying to relate to them as people more than as suspects or not suspects, witnesses and people with information in a case. And that's his, because they're button heads the whole time, Dafoe and Hackman. And that's the only difference is Hackman wants to give a shit about these people to get information out of them.
Right.
Which is the only fruitful endeavor they really have with their case. Because if it was Dafoe, they would never solve this thing. Ever.
Right. Yeah, because she's the one that tells them where the bodies are buried and everything else.
Tells them everything.
Yeah, it tells them the whole story.
Dafoe would have gotten 0 leads. He would have gotten every black person in that town. And he said there's 5,000 at one point.
Right.
I think it was Arlie Ermy, or was it Stephen Tobolowsky that says that?
I think it Ermy, I think.
Yeah, so there's 5,000.
What do you think with 5,000 Negroes? And they do their thing and we get along just fine.
All he says is there ain't a problem with our Negros.
Yeah.
Still, and I'm like, like,
yeah.
It's like, it's why? Oh man, it's it makes you like stop and like as an audience, just like, oh Jesus, how is that your reasoning?
Right. Well, that's the thing. That's why, like, growing up watching this movie, it just taught me, why racism is so stupid. It's just like, oh God, why would people act like this? It makes no sense to me.
I never understood it.
And I just, you just don't understand, like, that years of just, they tell you, oh, they're inferior. And I've had friends, or not friends, but people here, with like Hispanic people, Mexicans and everything, that talk shit on Mexicans or say something racist about them. It's like, what? Why? Why are you saying that? What are you talking about? Like, and this was my friend, because just 7 years ago, I was hanging out with some guys, and I didn't really know him very well. And this Mexican guy was walking, he goes, look at this fucking beaner over here. And I was like, oh, it's my friend Martin. I went and saw him. I went and talked to him. I hadn't seen him in a while. And I was just like, yeah, it's my buddy. So whatever. I'm just like, I don't understand why people are so bent up on this whole, like, oh, he's Hispanic, or he's this. Oh, he's different. Like, they're not different. We're all the same. Get over it. It's so stupid. I'm just like, I can't. And you're white. Yeah, congratulations. You're fucking white. Who cares?
All being white, we're goddamn boring.
Yeah.
We have 0 culture.
No, well, we are culture.
We'll take yours.
We're good at that. We're good at making that.
Yeah. We'll make your hairstyles ours and your music ours, and
it's ours. It's ours.
That's good. We'll take it.
We can make it. We can make a dime out of it. Just like John Lennon. You give me a tuba, I'll bitch some money out of it.
The way he says that, tuba.
Oh man, but yeah. So
Angel Heart.
So swing over to Angel Heart. which is not about racism. It's just about soulism.
It's about it is a secret like backdoor voodoo movie.
Yes.
And by the time I caught up to the voodoo-ness, I was like, fuck you, Dick. I hate voodoo movies.
Yeah.
Adam and I have expressed our displeasure for voodoos. Voodoo films.
It's not. But it's pretty tame though. It's a pretty tame voodoo.
But it doesn't hinge on the actual voodoo.
Right.
Like that's not the driving plot. That's not the.
Right.
There's no. It's more about the comeuppance and his character than it is anything with the voodoo. The voodoo is kind of just like the setting of this is what happened before.
Right.
Which I was glad because voodoo movies I goddamn hate.
It's almost more magic than voodoo. Because like he's talking about what he did, the ritual,
and you don't
rituals, and you don't see it happen.
Yeah.
It's already done, and this is the outcome of what has already been done. This is the consequences of his actions of trying to cheat the devil out of his due, and that's what it is. And the good old Robert De Niro shows up for no reason other than to be the devil, which is fun. And I don't even know why De Niro would do this movie because I feel like this would be a lame, cheap movie that he could make more money doing another movie on. This is back when De Niro cared about movies, maybe.
It probably took him 3 days of acting.
Well, sure, yeah. It's very quick.
Plus, I saw that he based his performance and his look on Martin Scorsese. So it's probably just fuck around for him.
There you go.
Yeah.
Cokehead Martin Scorsese when he was fucking Liza Minnelli.
Yeah.
Gross.
I'm surprised De Niro didn't have the
like, cocaine's a hell of a drug when you fuck Liza Minnelli.
God damn it, have to be.
Ugh.
It would fucking have to be a hell of a drug to deal with her.
Ugh.
We need to watch New York, New York.
I do.
I do.
Yeah, I know. I got
New York City, 1955 is the setting of the beginning of this. You can't deny that Mickey Rourke looks so much like Bruce Willis in this movie.
He does, yeah.
And he acts like him, and it's very creepy because it's not Bruce Willis.
Well, this is pre-Bruce Willis. Bruce Willis doesn't go famous about 3 years later.
Yeah.
But so
don't fuck up your face, I guess is the lesson here.
Don't become a boxer when you're an actor.
Yeah.
How about that? Middle-aged boxing, not a smart idea.
This is our second De Niro movie since Born to Win, which was very early on.
Born to Win?
Born to Win from like 71.
What the hell is that?
We did an experiment where everyone on the show grabbed a DVD I was like, grab the worst movie you can find. We all watched them in order. And someone grabbed Born to Win. It was Ryan, I think. But he watched it, and then we tweeted it out, and then De Niro liked the tweet. And I was like, oh, whoever handles De Niro's Twitter account liked it.
That's funny.
Because it mentioned his name. But I still have a screenshot of Robert De Niro liked your tweet. And I was like, yes.
I sure wasn't a Russian sex bot.
No, this was 10 years ago, man. This is
like, they had Russian sex bots then.
But it was his actual like account.
I have to say, I really like what you said about me, Phoenix. It was quite funny.
Yeah, it was definitely not De Niro who read that tweet.
No,
because he was 70.
De Niro doesn't even know what tweets are.
No.
What? Fucking tweet.
I just thought it was funny. I'm like, wait, fucking De Niro like that? And it took me like 3 months to see that because I don't give a shit about Twitter. I'm like, wait, De Niro? Wait, what?
Oh man, De Niro wants to meet you for lunch. Oh,
yeah. I wrote down because when he starts to go around and see all the Louisiana voodoo people, I was like, after watching Mississippi Burning, I have a bad feeling for all these black people.
Exactly. Yeah. Maybe tied into that. Yeah. Mr. Anderson's going to show up and you came out of the hell, Mr. Ward. You got to find your soul before you kill Lucy Bonet.
I did notice that. Okay, the plot of the movie is De Niro hires him to track down Johnny Favorite, who he's owed a debt to, a contract, and that was the clue. I was like, he's even if I didn't know, I'd be like, he's the devil,
right? Yeah.
He's got the goddamn pentagram, the nails, he got the cane, the goatee. He has a contract. He's the devil.
Yeah, exactly.
But the second he goes, "Do you know Johnny Favorite?" No. And he mentions to him who he is, a musician, and he disappeared, and he changed his face, I think.
Right, yeah.
I went, Mickey Rourke's Johnny Favorite. I got it.
Right, yeah.
Right away. So I was like, all right, I'm not waiting for the twist here. I'm just watching this for what it is.
Right.
Which is kind of honestly a relief because I wasn't waiting for the end. I wasn't just like,
Yeah, you're on the journey with him, and it's just a bizarre,
and it was.
It's a bizarre movie to follow this guy on this journey with. It's very strange.
Also, it helped me focus on the details that they showed later in the movie because it does have kind of like a usual suspects ending where you see how things really were.
Details.
Because do you remember the switchblade that Toot Sweet cuts him with?
Yeah.
And then he grabs it and then holds it at him and then he throws it across the room. And you see him land on the ground. But then he stuffs his phone number in Toot Sweet's mouth. And then leaves, and then you see him drop the knife. And I go, that knife's already on the ground, as we saw. He never picked it back up. So therefore,
right.
Yeah, there's a lot of clues if you're watching carefully and if you already know what's happening. Which so I already knew what was happening. So I got to watch the it's like watching Fight Club knowing the ending. You can get to catch more of the clues throughout. Which is kind of
nice, yeah. That's what makes it fun. That's why second watches are always more fun.
And I really caught it during the Bonet when he's fucking her.
Yeah,
he's fucking her, and then he has that little suit, and he cuts back, and she's screaming.
Yeah. There's obviously blood in the sheets.
Yeah, I was like, wait,
what the fuck is this?
Why is he raping her now?
This is weird.
You realize that's something else going on. There's a lot of that. It is a trippy fucking movie.
It is.
I don't know why it's rated X. I guess they had a couple seconds of Lisa Bonet.
Yeah, naked. I think the Lisa Bonet nudity scenes were too much, and I think maybe it was the subject material, so they were kind of like being more cautious because, it's the devil. It's Satanic Panic time in the 80s. The Satanic Panic taking over everything.
Even though all you see is her nipples, you see Charlotte Rampling's dead nipples.
Right.
You see the news reporter that he's fucking in the beginning, her nipples. That's it. You see Mickey Rourke's ass.
Oh.
That's it. Why is this rated X?
I want to show you my ass.
Like 87 was not that tame. Like Stripes had more nudity than this.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
And that's like PG. I think Stripes is rated PG. Or is it rated R?
I think it might be R. It's R-rated.
But there's a lot of those movies from the early 80s that are rated PG.
Oh, absolutely.
Like, so much nudity.
Well, isn't there like a Pretty in Pink or 16 Candles where she shows her bush? And it's a PG-13 movie.
Yeah, but this is a bush.
Well, it's probably Rural's bush, so nobody cares.
Yeah.
Oh my God! What is that red Chucky thing? Oh, it's your bush.
Raggedy Ann doll. Oh no. No, it's
the Bene Gesserit.
I feel like a lot of the movies that it was more judged off the subject material than it was on what you're actually seeing in the film. Kind of what you're saying there, the satanic stuff, and because you see like movies, if it's about sex, even without that much sex in it, they want to give it an X rating. Like People versus Larry Flint, they wanted to give that an X rating every chance they got, and they're but there's not that much nudity for an X. And they had to come up with examples of other movies that had R. Like this movie is R and has way more nudity than our movie.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's when they have to like eat their own shit eventually.
Well,
anyway, Angel Heart. I don't know. What are your thoughts on it?
I enjoyed it. I liked it when I first saw it. It was different. It's different for sure, but it's well done. It's very it's a noir basically. He's trying to solve this case, and it's the 50s, and it has all that they're all wearing really nice suits and good period costumes,
glasses with nose guards. What the fuck was that?
Oh God, it's class! God damn it! It's just got Fitzgerald shit. Classy as fuck.
As he's in the worst neighborhoods imaginable.
But The Angel Heart. There's something about it. It's very of its time. I don't think you could ever make this movie again. Honestly, I mean, really, I think they've tried to make this movie again, but it never
tried,
works.
In like
It's just
2003. It's still on
so
IMDb as remade as, and ever
wow.
since I've been looking at this movie, it's had that at there, but no additional information has ever been added.
Shit.
Like,
I doubt they even finished it.
no, they didn't even
The hire
start.
took over.
They could have
Yeah.
gotten the money put together. But because I forget the guy's name, but he wanted to make it based more on the novel, the source material, which is something angel, fallen angel, right?
Something like that, yeah.
And he wanted to get it made closer to that. And I'm like, do you really need to fuck with this movie? Like, it's already the way it is, and you're not gonna do it better. Like, honestly,
Right, yeah.
all you're gonna do is make a weaker version. Don't fucking bother. Jonathan Demme, I'm talking to you, you dead fuck. Don't remake Manchurian Candidate. Why? All you can do is make a weaker version of it.
That was a bad movie. That was a terrible.
I didn't even think it was that
Denzel
bad.
Washington.
But it's like you're not
It just
going to make a
wasn't
better
necessary.
one than the original. So
Right. Well,
don't bother.
sure. Yes. Stupid. Well, it's just that was Hollywood.
Psycho.
Well, they're dead. They're not. You know, that's it. They have no. They can't think of an original idea anymore because they don't want to take the risk. They're afraid of their aversion. Their aversion to risk makes no sense to me because every time they take a chance, it ends up being a big fucking hit. The biggest Star Trek movie of all time is that weird one about the fucking whales. Like, that was a huge hit. That's the biggest Star Trek movie of all time. And Star Trek 4, that's the one that made the most money out of all of them. Even the modern ones didn't make as much due to inflation.
And on paper, it sounds like the worst goddamn movie.
Right, yeah.
They go to San Francisco like 100 years later.
They Mike Flanagan that shit.
They release the secret for making invisible metal, and they save some goddamn whales.
Yeah, it's all about humpback
and their space
whales.
sausages.
Yeah. God, yeah.
No, it's if you're trying to predict this shit, good fucking luck, man. Good. This is why you can't make anything that's actually quality.
Yeah.
And this movie kind of predates one that I like, the old boy movie. I haven't seen the original.
Yes, it does.
But I've seen the Spike Lee one. I like that one, even though it's got terrible ratings on IMDb. Yeah, people don't like it. I liked it.
Terrible. No.
I liked it.
No, the first the Korean Old Boy is fucking masterpiece.
I'm sure it's much better. I just haven't seen it.
I think that's the problem. Yeah, that's the problem. Especially that fucking fight scene with the hammer. Oh my god, he's fighting like 15 guys at once in a hallway scene.
Yeah. I've seen the scene.
Boy.
Right.
Oh, it's awesome. It's fantastic.
You can't avoid that scene. There's memes.
No, yeah, exactly, yeah.
But what I mean by that is there's a scene where he meets up with Lisa Bonet and he's like, "Hey, I'm looking for Johnny Famous. You know who he is?" And she's like,
"Right,
no." And then later on, he finds out. He's like, "Why didn't you tell me who he is?" She goes, "He's my dad, and he left. He's been dead for 12 years." Everyone kept saying he's been dead for 12 years.
Right.
And then it turns out that Johnny Favorite put his soul inside Harry Angel's body. And by this point, he realizes that he's already fucked Lisa Bonet. So I was like, "Oh shit, you done fucked your daughter, Johnny," which is the twist of Old Boy.
Yes, but I think he subconsciously knew it because he was a freak.
That's why he's that, right?
He's a bad guy. Well, he's a bad man, and that's him being even badder. And that's why at the end he's like, I'm condemned to hell. At the end of the movie, where like the sheriffs, they say something like, "Well, how you gonna get yourself out of this one now, boy?" or something like that. And he's just like, "No, I'm done. I'm guilty. I'm over." I think he's something like, "I'm over," or something like that.
And I think that's,
or I can't be forgiven, or something like that.
Can we put a pin in that for 1 second? Please don't forget to go back to that. I just want to say, I think you're right, because it explains why Harry Angel, when he fucks her, it's all romantic and sexy.
Right.
And then the blood starts.
Yes.
And then it turns into a rape murder, which is when Johnny Favorite takes over.
Right. And
But then why is there a bath sequence in the middle there where she's like, "Hey," and she's all talking to him? I'm like, were you just being raped a second ago?
Right.
So
Yeah.
confused. Like, maybe is he imagining the bath part?
Or is she imagining the bath part?
Because then
know.
we find out at the very end that he killed her he just kills her, but then he shoves
Yeah.
his gun up her twat.
Yeah. It's pretty
Like,
rough.
ugh.
It's gross.
And the cop's just like, he doesn't even know how to react anymore. He's just like, "Hey, are you going to deny the fact that it's your gun up her pussy?" And he's like,
Yeah.
"No." I'll play the clip.
I can't say no. I messed up. I'm sorry.
Oh God! And then it comes into one of the worst scenes I've ever seen in my life. There's one shot in this movie I think it's one of the worst things I've ever seen. We can't show this.
Why'd you come back?
Oh God! Stop it!
A little while. Long enough for you to kill her, right? Unless that ain't your gun up her snatch.
There it is.
Gun up on snatch.
Meanwhile, I'm showing Lisa Bonet naked all over YouTube.
Well, she's like she's not used to that.
Yeah. No, she's. I don't know. I've always been attracted to her.
Oh, she's a beautiful woman. This is
Out of
when
her
she was in her
fucking mind.
prime. Oh, no, fucking crazy sketch. If you're married to Jason Momoa that long, you're fucking nuts. There's something wrong with you. You're crazy.
No, I think the other way around.
Yeah.
I think he had a crush on her growing up, and now he's like, "Yeah, I'll deal with her." Oh no, okay.
I can't do it.
He is just so attractive. Her and Vanity are kind of in the same vein for me.
Yeah, they are. Well, yeah, a little bit.
So attractive and
Yeah.
different pasts, obviously, because one of them died, but
yeah,
just so man. Lisa Bonet, oh man, I had a crush on her when I was like real young, like 5, 6, like super young.
Wow.
Yeah, well, Cosby Show was on. I'm like,
that's true. Yeah, exactly.
Looking at that kid, at her, and you're like, what's that?
Like, I felt the same way. I felt the same way about Felicia Rashad.
Mrs. Raven.
Mrs. Huxtable. Oh yeah, Raven Simone.
But I feel like that about her now. Watching her then.
Yeah,
not now. Not her now. Me now, her then.
Right? Are you Johnny Trueheart?
Isn't it creepy how you can watch something in puberty? Okay, here I'll tell the story real quick. I watched Casper recently with my daughter. One of my first crushes ever was her.
Christina Ricci.
Right. Not my daughter. Watching Casper, and then oh my gosh, she's so cute. And then I realized I'm 40. That's an 11-year-old.
Right, yeah.
I'm not attracted to her there. I'm remembering when I was her, because I'm younger than her. I remember when I was 10 and watching her, because I saw her in the theater because I wanted to go see that. Because I was so attracted to her. Then I remember I dragged my parents along. And so I'm remembering that, but I'm like, this is so weird. Like, I'm gonna walk out of this movie because I can't. I don't know what's going on. So I just let my daughter finish it. Well, this is weird.
Wow. Ah!
Yeah. I'm like, clearly I'm not attracted to the child here in the movie, but here I am having remembering feelings of being attracted to that. I'm like, this is so weird. It's such a help me, Doc.
What's wrong with me, Doc? I go back in time. I gotta stop myself from fucking my own sister, my own daughter.
This is
no credit card to ride this train.
This is our second sold to the devil for something movie tonight.
Oh, yeah, it's true. Yeah.
Because we did Ghost Rider.
Yeah.
Our third of 4 movies that had to deal with hell and the devil. This movie was giving me Exorcist 3 vibes when he was drifting between murders.
Oh, sure. Yeah, it's very stylistically kind of similar. The way the camera's moving and he's walking through the streets and everything. Yeah.
It's mostly audio related.
Right. Yeah.
There's not a lot of visuals that are brutal. It's all audio. Like you hear like screams or they layer up the audio.
Yeah.
when he's seeing stuff, and you never really see what's going on. And I kind of appreciated that. And I think I honestly believe William Peter Blatty was drawing a lot from this movie when he was making Exorcist 3. I can't imagine he wasn't. It's very similar, some of the scenes, especially early on in the movie. Remember that scene where he comes out and he has a switchblade and there's like a lady sitting there staring at, like, she's in a pew in the middle of nowhere. I'm like, this is Exorcist 3 at this point.
Right, yeah.
Like, there's no way he didn't draw inspiration there. I do want to mention, here's the scene I would cut from the movie. And this is him at his most Bruce Willis-y.
Yeah.
He's just flat out Bruce Willis here. Remember him at the end of the Twilight Zone Saturday episode?
Yes.
There he is.
Yeah.
He even sounds like him.
In hell.
Yeah, there goes.
This is what I would cut. It looks terrible. Adds nothing. Cut it out, fucker.
Little scary boy, a little grudge boy.
His head that's not moving, but his body is. Look at this.
Well, I think it's supposed to be unsettling.
It's not unsettling. It's terrible looking.
And then he goes to the elevator ride for the next 20 minutes on the credits. The elevator ride all the way down.
Oh yeah.
And that's to hell. It's figuratively. He's going to hell. The audience is going to hell with him.
How dare you say that?
See, and the credits roll over. That's so weird.
I will say, there's a little movie called Hellraiser Inferno I brought up before.
Yeah.
That I like more than I should.
Yeah.
Now I realize Angel Heart is the movie.
Right, exactly.
They're
ripping off Angel Heart. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It's the same fucking movie, only that one has Pinhead.
Yes, and it wasn't supposed to have Pinhead. I think it was just the movie originally. It wasn't a Hellraiser movie.
Yeah. But I wonder if the remake they tried to do for Angel Heart somehow found its way to someone in, the game of telephone, and it becomes a Hellraiser sequel.
Right.
Because it's the same fucking movie. Only he's a detective tracking down the serial killer, and it reveals that it's himself. So he's in hell already, is the twist of that one. I'm like, this is the goddamn same movie. Like,
what the fuck?
Yes. Oh.
What the fuck? Very good. Hey, Frank.
I guess I told a great story.
Hold on. Frank, let's see. Hold on. Okay, I gotta find it first. Hold on. I'm sorry. It's gonna take away the whole surprise. Frank, this one's going out to you.
I want you to fuck me, Larry.
That one, that's fine.
Well,
I'm looking for a very specific one. Where is it? Oh, God damn it. Where'd you hide it?
Well, I didn't hide it.
No, I'm sorry. I had it here up and now it's gone, maybe.
This is not worth it now.
It's really not. I'm sorry. No, that's not it either. God damn it. Where'd it go?
I wash myself with a rag on a stick.
No, Frank is.
Homer, I don't use the word hero very often, but you are the greatest hero in American history.
Woohoo! There you go. That's Frank.
Every time I watch the rag on a stick,
I love it.
I forget that the best part is at the end when they clap.
I want to be a lardo on workman's comp, just like Dad. I wash myself with a rag on a stick.
I wash myself with a rag on a stick.
I think when I saw that one on TV, I think I recorded it and I rewatched that part 50 times in a row, laughing. It's just the visual image of Bart being an obese man, 1,000-pound man in bed. It's the funniest fucking visual, and everybody claps when everybody's watching them. Oh God, it's so funny.
And there's a great joke after that clip too, where he chases Lisa around with the invisible stick. And she's getting away.
Yeah, exactly. Oh God, that's so good.
Stop it, Bart. Like,
And that's like 8th season
that wasn't that late, was
or
it?
9th. Yeah, it's like it's before the. I think it's in the 8th season. It's like really. It's like pretty early on in the career of the
Was that
Simpsons.
King Size Homer?
King Size Homer, yeah. What year's that? 98? No, 97.
7th episode.
No,
of
I'm
the
sorry.
7th season.
Yeah, Jesus Christ.
But it's the same with this.
I don't want to look like a weirdo. I'll just go with a moo.
I just wanted to watch Honk if you're horny in peace.
Oh, Frank. How do you describe what I was referring to without sounding like a creepy pedophile? That's my point.
Yeah.
That's kind of my point. Is like, this is so weird.
Oh man.
Natalie Portman in The Professional. I'm like, what do I?
Yeah, it's a tough one. It's a tough one.
Like, I don't want to fuck this 10-year-old, but 10-year-old me wanted to fuck that 10-year-old.
Oh, that's true.
I'm just saying it's weird.
Man. Get me everyone. Everyone!
I saw Jean Reno in
look at
the new Kevin Hart movie Lift on Netflix.
Oh
My
no.
sister-in-law put it on, and I go, he looks elderly.
Oh no.
Jean
Godzilla was 1998.
Reno.
Oh wow.
Lift. He looks so old.
Holy shit.
How do I find out?
Poor
Picture of him.
bastard.
Really? Not a single picture up. Did he scrub it from the internet?
It's from the internet. That's gonna find.
I mean, this is him from it, but it's not the picture.
You cannot find my picture on the internet no more. In The Professional. Oh my God. He looks like Savos Seaworth meets a brick wall. It looks like he's been punched in the face a bunch of times. His nose is huge.
Yeah, he's definitely a lot of
man.
So, Dick, rankings wise, do you want me to go first, or do you want to go first with both?
You can go first. You
know what's weird? I give them both 8s.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
but we do have to pick a winner. I want you.
I'm going to go with Mississippi Burning. I would say Mississippi Burning because it's a real story. It's a true story. Whereas Angel Heart's fiction, and Angel Heart has Mickey Rourke in it, and that's a deterrent or a deferment is Mickey Rourke. Even though he's good in it, it's just Mickey Rourke what he became. I know what William Dafoe became. I know what Brian Durf became. I know what all the other actors in this movie became. Mississippi Burning, but I look at Mickey Rourke, it just makes me sad. So Mississippi Burning is the better movie.
I agree.
Yes,
I liked both in their
own they're both good. Yeah, they're good.
But movies. I do give the slight edge to Mississippi Burning just because I don't know. It was there's way better characters. I was entertained and frustrated through a lot of it.
Right.
But you're supposed to be frustrated through a movie like that.
Exactly. Yeah. You're
more
supposed
challenged
to be
by it.
Yeah.
But I will say Angel Heart was way better than I expected, especially when I saw the voodoo shit. I was still surprised how much I loved it.
Oh, yeah. Angel Heart's a solid flick. Yeah. And Alan Parker is a good director.
He's 3 for 3.
He's proven it. He's 3 for 3.
Now we need to watch the Life of David Gale.
You saw Life of David Gale, right?
Yeah.
Did you see that one? It was terrible, right? Wasn't it?
It was one of the most predictable twist endings I've ever seen in my life.
Right.
Alan Parker died in July 31st, 2020. And because when he died, I was like, oh no. Like I was hoping he kept going, but he really stopped in 2003 with The Life of David Gale.
Yeah.
Because he did Evita, which I'll never watch.
Yeah, I gotta watch that either. No.
Commitments. I've never seen.
I've seen Commitments is good. I've seen pieces of that. Commitments.
It looks like a musical.
That's nice. It is. It's basically it's not a musical. They have musical parts, where they're
Okay.
singing in a bar, and they're a band. The Commitments is the band, and they're playing in a bar, so they have their moments where they sing. So kind of musical, but not quite a musical.
So really, the movie we haven't seen and maybe want to see is this one, which is Dennis Quaid, Tamlin Tomita. I don't know who the fuck these people are. In 1942, over 100,000 Americans were interned in prison camps in America.
Oh, that's right. The one, I think I saw that movie. It's the Asian internment camp with Dennis Quaid,
Yeah,
and he falls in love with a Asian woman, a Japanese woman.
but I really do want to see Midnight Express. That movie looks fucking brutal too.
Midnight Express is a classic. I've seen pieces of it, but yeah,
I'm gonna add that. I'm gonna add Midnight Express. I don't care about this. Come See the Paradise one.
yeah. Well, that's more of a romantic movie. Midnight Express is more of a hardcore, dark, sad.
But
movie.
it's one of those movies I've always wanted to watch. Like since I was a kid, I was like, "Oh, that sounds interesting."
I think it's a big prison rape movie too.
Yeah, and that's why I was into it.
That's why I want to see it twice.
Midnight Express. What year was Midnight Express? 1980. Sounds about
The
right.
show was probably 80s.
Oh man, I can't wait. So my next week, I already chose my movie. I'm sure you saw.
Okay. Yes. What is
Way
it?
In. Did you see it in the way in?
No.
Okay. So I chose a movie I've never seen, and in vain with Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. I wanted to stick with that one. I was like, because I also have another movie on the list called Layer Cake I want to watch, the Matthew Vaughn one.
Oh yeah, it's a good movie.
But instead, I went with In Bruges, the Martin.
Oh
McDonagh.
yeah. You haven't seen
Colin
that?
Farrell. I haven't seen it.
You haven't seen In Bruges?
Yep.
Oh my God!
I
You
told you,
haven't
I'm
seen
going
In
down my-
Bruges?
I'm going down.
Oh my
list
God!
of those kind
Oh
of films I've never seen.
wow! Oh my God! You're in for a treat.
Yeah, I can't wait.
In Bruges is awesome. In Bruges is fantastic.
I really took a while to go over this list. and I
You're
was
gonna
like,
love In Bruges. You're gonna be so happy after you see it.
after the In Bruges episode, we are gonna do every other week sort of thing with not even competing. I don't want to compete with our two movies because that's not really what we want to do with those two. You know, I just want to both choose a movie and then see which one's better. I don't want to be like I fucking beat you. You know what I mean? Because we can just choose our own movie.
No, yeah.
There's no winning.
No, because every movie is good, equally good. It's just I enjoy one movie or the other.
Or like
But no,
you choose Schindler's List, and I'm like, cool. I want to watch Airheads. That's
right?
not
Yeah,
fair. That's what I'm saying.
yeah.
We'll do a versus ones, but not really versus. It's going to be, I don't know, maybe an and between them more so than a versus.
Right, yeah.
Maybe I'll do that and not versus.
That works.
Yeah. Otherwise, it's not fair because we'll just each, vote for our own movie and then never have a winner.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, this was a versus one. And this is fair because it's, you chose them both, same director. Clearly, man, I honestly could be swayed with Angel Heart. But I think with second viewing, I would appreciate Mississippi Burning more. And I think it's mostly the Gene Hackman factor.
Oh yeah, Gene Hackman's so good in that movie. It's
He's the
fantastic.
selling drive of that movie that
Yeah.
tips it over the edge of Angel Heart.
Well, I want to see here because I want to be closer to you.
So I still remember my daddy.
That's right, my daddy.
That was great.
Oh man,
In Bruges next week. 2 weeks. In 2
Yeah.
weeks.
2 weeks. That'll be fun. Yeah, that sounds good. Yeah.
No, is it next week? Yes, next week. Sorry, we have one more
Is it next week? Okay.
and then we're going to 2 weeks.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. February's going to be the 2 weeks
Indeed.
for
Um,
every other week. Okay.
Yeah, congrats, Mississippi Burning. Fantastic fucking movies. Check them both out.
Very
Hopefully,
good.
I say the same thing next week with In Bruges.
Oh, you'll love it. I can't wait.
He's doing the Airheads quote. Phoenix, what was the Natalie Portman on the Clydesdale scale?
What's that?
Frank.
The Kinsey scale?
Frank, if I ever find out what the Clydesdale scale is, I'll let you know. That's Airheads.
Oh,
David Arquette
Right. Okay.
Who's she on the Clydesdale scale, man? And then we never find out what that Clydesdale scale is.
Oh, yeah.
Frank has had some theories about it. How many horses you'd fuck to get through to her? I don't know.
Right.
Yeah, we don't quite know, is the point. Until next time, Dick. In the meantime, Phoenix West.
Tick, cat. Ticker.
You have the outro?
I will get to it in a minute. I go to exit full
I got
screen here.
All right.
Pin it for me.
So long, citizens!
Fuck you, everybody. Good night.
Bye, Frank Lanks.
Bye.
Bye, Mickey Rourke's face and career.
I'm just telling a story about my daddy.
He's so good in The Wrestler, though.
He is.
He is. Even though he looks like a goddamn Steven Tyler doll someone lit on fire.
He does. And they put his face out with ice pick. Poor bastard.